Hey guys, it's me, and I'm just filming this short introduction in air quotes for the video because the intro that you will see after this clip is is the opening scene to why I filmed this video in the first place. And the reason is because she got robbed, and the picture of her going via a jet was taken on a plane. I mean, on a plane? What? Ugh. Was taken on a smartphone. Yep, it was a smartphone, an iPhone 7 Plus. And so I thought, it looked pretty nice. So I was like, I'm gonna make a video about smartphone quality, smartphone camera quality, and what makes a phone camera good or bad. So yeah. Peace! Hey Ian, this is Guys. Okay, enough of all that stupid stuff. So, hey guys, it's Ian, and this will be my video about smartphone camera quality. It'll be an explanation video, and it'll tell you about what makes a good a smartphone camera. Peace. So, most of you are thinking, well, Ian, megapixels make a smartphone camera better. Isn't that right? Well, sometimes it helps and does actually work that way, but most of the time it doesn't. So all of you saying more megapixels is better? No. Just get that mentality out of your heads. The most important piece of hardware for a smartphone camera is by far the sensor. There are good sensors, there are bad sensors, and there are sensors that are in the middle. There are different types of sensors made for different environments and different places with a lot of light or no light. There are also large sensors and there are small sensors and sensors in between. It's hard to tell if a sensor is good just by looking at the list of specs and the numbers, but it's the best way to find it out if a sensor is good is using it in the real world. Shocker, I know. Anyway, the common thing is that a larger sensor usually tends to outperform a smaller sensor. Most of the camera sensors on our smartphones are pretty small. The camera sensors in the iPhone 6s, the Galaxy S7 Edge and phones like those, they have pretty small sensors compared to point and shoot cameras and DSLRs. However, it is not small enough to get rid of the camera bump, which is usually found on nearly 95% of all phones out there. The S7, S7 Edge, Note 7, OnePlus 3, iPhone 7, 7 Plus, HTC 10, the new Google Pixel phones, the LG V20, all of those. The sensor may be small, however, it's not small enough that there are no camera bumps. Anyway, in the beginning of the video, I said that megapixels do not make a camera better. However, not having enough megapixels is usually true. A good example is the HTC One.
The HTC One M8 comes with an image sensor composed of 2 micrometer ultrapixels. Each ultrapixel in our sensor has a significantly bigger surface area compared to average smartphone cameras. This lets our camera capture up to 300% more light. Capturing more light means your camera captures a lot more information, resulting in better quality pictures. Photos you take look stunning and true to life. Ultrapixels capture better quality photos instead of bigger sized ones. With ultrapixels, photos you take look stunning and true to life.
It was a camera which had the ultra-pixel sensor. Basically, it was a smartphone camera which had 4 megapixels a couple years ago. In today's standards, 4 megapixels is laughable. The 4 megapixels was on the iPhone 4. No wait, it didn't even have 4 megapixels. It was 5. Anyway, the reason why HTC did this was that the bigger pixels with the lower megapixel size allowed for more light to come in to the sensor, giving it better low light capabilities. Anyway, it was just a short fact to say that more megapixels does not make a smartphone camera better. However, less megapixels does not make it any better, obviously. In front of the sensors are the lenses which light must pass through to hit and make contact with the sensor. Now, the quality of the glass usually does not matter, however, sometimes it may. However, the main thing to look out here is the aperture. Some phones have apertures of 2.2 or 2.0 or 1.8 or 1.7. Usually, the bigger the aperture usually means better. So a f1.7 aperture camera usually outperforms a f1.8 aperture camera. So technically speaking, the S7 Edge, S7 and Note 7 should outperform the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. This isn't really the case as both smartphones are evenly matched. Anyway, another thing that makes a smartphone camera better is optical image stabilization. Basically, optical image stabilization is hardware that counteracts the movements your arm makes while recording or taking pictures. Optical image stabilization usually helps balance out those shaky shots when you're filming and also helps in low light too. Now, after optical image stabilization, you don't really have to pay attention to lens elements because even though there might be like 6, 7, 8, or 9 lens elements, they really do not go into detail about what are the uses and if having more or less lens elements helps in different ways and scenarios. And I wouldn't also pay attention to the different flashes. Like some phones like the iPhone has True Tone Flash, which is basically flash that changes color to best match the temperature and exposure. And there are some phones which have xenon flashes and ring flashes too, but I won't pay attention. And finally, from there, what it comes down to is image processing. This is really, really important. Basically, a phone could have 1 megapixel cameras. However, if the image processing is really, really good, it might look like a 10 megapixel camera. That's how important it is. Every smartphone camera from different manufacturers process an image and video in different ways. Some phones like the iPhone 7 Plus have a realistic image quality, while some phones like the Galaxy Note 7 have slightly oversaturated and slightly more pleasant looking images and videos. Some phone processing likes to shift warmer colors to cooler colors. Some like having overexposed pictures, some like having underexposed pictures. You get the gist. It comes down to image processing. So, thanks for watching my video, and in the end, the best camera is the camera you think is the best. Some cameras will look realistic and true to life, like the iPhone cameras. Some phones may not look true to life, like the OnePlus 3, Nexus 6P, and the Galaxy Note 7. In the end, it's up to you which camera you takes better pictures, in your opinion. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow about the October 4 Google event and announcement. Peace!